and Stiglitz here, and we're going to do some more streaming about K-pop. Thank you for joining. So feel free to say hello, and we'll get right down to it. Talk a bit about surveys and a few other things. See what we can find to discuss. So let's give you proper cat vision here. There we go. I just got to set my stream chat up on here. It's been a little bit stupid. Oh, why is this sucking dick? It's giving me the tiniest window, I don't know why. Okay, that's better. Cool. Alright. Yeah, Archery Unity, thanks for joining once again. You're the real county mail. You always seem to be on all the streams, so I appreciate it. Yeah, you don't want to miss the Stiglitz content because it doesn't happen every single time. It's just when you feel like getting up here, that's when it happens. So, yeah, she's pretty good today. She's just chilling out, checking out stuff. So, I'll go to the stream questions, just see if you guys have dropped any questions in. I'm pretty sure there's at least one. Yep. So, someone... Alright, so number one, opinions on Blackpink's new song or album. I've heard that do song or whatever it is, and you know, I think at first I hated it. At first it sounded like The Baddest Female, I guess. It reminded me of that song because it's like the first two verses and choruses are just that silly crap, and then it sort of gets better after that, but by which time it's a little bit late. The horse has bolted. But to be honest, I've had that hook in my head all day. It's pretty catchy, to be honest. So it's a song that I think I might start warming to. And do they have a second one out? I think I can't remember if I haven't seen or heard the other new song of theirs. Just trying to find it on here. Yeah, I don't have a video for it, obviously. I'll get around to listening to the other one at some point, and then I'll let you know. I'm surprised there's no video for the other song yet. So, but yeah, it's not as terrible as I thought it might be when I first heard it. And I mean, it's cheesy in some ways. I mean, yeah, sure, the rap's terrible and makes you cringe, but the overall, I would say the catchiness of it sort of rescues it from just being the complete pile of dog shit it would otherwise be. Writing a good chorus, I think that's a powerful thing. I've answered that like a million times. The one with the short hair. Jeongyeon, yeah, she's the best one by far. I can see why they gave her the short hair. They didn't want her to, out beautify the other girls with long hair, but she suits the short hair anyway. It suits any hair really, just really attractive. And no, I don't like Amy Winehouse. I was aware of her right from when she debuted with an album called Frank, and I was aware of that because it came into the record library where I work at the radio station, and I listened to it back then, and and that was before any of the hype, before anyone knew who she was, and I thought it sucked back then, and nothing she's done since then has made me change my opinion of her, except that, I just found it amusing how she openly does lots of drugs and basically trashed her own life, and just very entertaining in that aspect. But that's what happens when you do too much too soon. It takes your life. So there we go. That's don't like her at all. What you doing, Cat? Oh, she wants to go out now. You might hear a few noises out there. I'm not sure how much the microphone's picking it up, but that's my girlfriend. I got her the Diablo 3 expansion yesterday, which is a necromancer, and so she's having a lot of fun with the necromancer, which is, she's enjoying it a lot, because you get to sort of split people's bodies in half and stuff like that. So she thinks that's pretty cool. So yeah, there's your questions, and I was going to talk about Blackpink anyway, because so many people have been asking me about Blackpink. Everyone wants to know what I think, and so there you go. If you give a shit, I don't think anyone cares, to be honest. Really, do they care? Probably not. They shouldn't. Sorry, I had the mic down there. I think Stiglitz bumped it. You should be able to hear me better now. Alright, so what we're going to talk about now, let's talk about the objectification survey. I just did the first post about it, which is that one. So I've got the female boobs and the male torso and abs, and this just explains the scoring and all that sort of stuff. I'll show you. I've still got the calculation chart up for it. Here it is. So you can actually see here how many votes everybody got. Basically, the way it works is I ask people to do 3 choices, and the first choice gets 10 points. Second choice gets 5 points, third choice gets 3 points, and then I just add it all up. I do it all manually as well. There's no quick way. Then there's the result. If you go right down to the bottom, Snake from Tiara got nothing. I can't believe Minna has only one person voted Minna the whole poll, and even that person put up third. Minna from Girls' Day and Yura from Girls' Day, 154, and that's ridiculous because I've seen them live, and I guarantee you Minna's got much better boobs than Yura. Yura does not that special, really. Tell you firsthand. Anyway, so that's for the girls. Here for the guys. He's voting for the guys, and yeah, Wonho got 806. He did really well, although actually Jungkook was actually ahead of Wonho for most of the counting, and then he sort of blazed away at the end and got it. And yeah, if you go down the list, there's all your favourites. Who got the lowest? Yeah, the poor ones are only one person voted for him. So there you go. And so I'm off to do the next lot, which is, I think, the asses is the next one. And we'll count that up, and you'll get that post. Not for a while. It takes a long time to do them. It takes like half a day to do all the calculations, and then it takes another few hours to do the post itself. Normally it doesn't take half a day. Usually it takes a lot less time, but the reason why it takes so long, as you see, is I've got 765 people did the survey. That's more than anyone's ever done. The last time I did one, objectification survey, that took forever too, and that was 479. So now it's 765. So I just hope it doesn't get more popular, because I don't know, I'm going to have to work out some kind of different system. Maybe I'll stop having to do the 3 choices, just do 1 choice, because I just don't have that much time. And yeah, it's just taken all my time up, which is not good. and I'll just go in there. I'm fine, thanks. You never tell us how you are. That's lies. Every single survey I'll tell you how I am. I just keep it short. I'll just go through some of the feedback that people left. I like the idea of adding a list of groups or names or whatever, but the thing is, then that homogenises the choices. One thing I really like about doing it the way I do it is I want people to be able to choose literally anyone they want to be able to. I don't want to restrict them to just the popular people. So that way, that gives a chance for like something really out of the box to happen that I didn't anticipate. Like Ellie got to number 13, I didn't see that coming. So there you go. More categories, definitely not. It takes me too long to do the survey as it is. Anyone who wants best face, that's no point, because one of the categories is most attractive, and people tend to base attractiveness on the face, so that's kind of like face anyway. People ask me if thighs were legs. You need to go to anatomy class. Of course, size is a part of leg. A lot of people said I want to do females only, which is really weird, because I wasn't stopping you guys from just skipping the questions about the guys. You could have just done that. That would have been fine. I love the fact that you've kept this site going despite the lack of success or recognition. That's some hilarious shade there. That's really funny. And oh man, if only that were true. If only, because it would have been a much easier survey to do if it wasn't popular. But it was hugely popular, and so now I'm really, really busy doing it all. So yeah, could use a little bit less popularity, to be honest. So, I mean, I know lots of people hate what I do, but a lot of people like it as well, and even the people who hate it still engage with it, so it still adds up to stuff, you know. So I'm cool with that. Yeah, there's yeah, I like this. You're probably not reading this, or yes, I am. I read everything, by the way. Everything, every single thing you guys send to me, I read it, even if I don't respond. Um, Always know that I read everything. You're probably not reading this, but provide a sample answer in the instructions so you wouldn't have to worry about answers of varying format. And that's actually a pretty good idea. I might consider something like that for the near future. Maybe the next time I do it, I might, because I've got that big thing that tells you how to do it, but maybe an example would be better, because obviously, because heaps of people don't do it right. I'll show you what I mean. If you want to see how people do it, we'll just go to the abs torso male. Now I specifically asked people to put the name of the group along with the person, because I don't actually know. I mean, I didn't even know Jungkook's a member of BTS. The only reason why I know that is because you guys tell me. So I had to figure out who all these people were. Lots of funny answers. A lot of people voted for Twice members. Someone asked me if I was gay. It's normal. It happens like about 5 times every day. Ain't about that life. And so on. Like, most people aren't actually putting in the name of the group. So yeah, it's a bit annoying, because I got to figure it out. And I mean, usually I get it right eventually, but there's a good chance that I might not. Especially when you're looking at, groups where there's, I mean, I know this is someone just being a smartass and putting chicks in the guys category or whatever, but there's more than 1 minute in K-pop, right? So which one? There's more than one Park Jimin. Next survey, I reckon I'm just going to get every vote for Park Jimin that doesn't specify which Park Jimin, and I'm going to count it against the Park Jimin for 15 and not the Park Jimin for BTS. And hopefully then you'll all learn how to actually fill out stuff according to the instructions. So yeah, the guys, yeah, 42% of people realise they could skip it. But a lot of people filled it out anyway, even though they could skip it. Like, put NA there, you don't need to do that. You can just skip it. The only survey question that's mandatory is the top one, where I ask you how you are. So what I'm going to do, I think, is I might actually do a video where I go through all the how high are you. I'm not going to do it now, because just in case someone puts in something there which is sensitive, which sometimes happens, and maybe I'll do a video and I just stick it on YouTube. Maybe I can start doing that for the bi-yearly surveys as well, and have it as a video rather than doing stuff like reaction content, which is kind of lame. I don't like doing that because you never really know if someone's watching it for the first time and then their job is kind of to act as exaggerated as possible. It just seems really lame to me. I just don't want to be that lame, and sort of act like something I'm not. It's a bit silly. So so maybe for these questions I will do a video answer, and maybe also for the feedback questions as well. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I don't know if people really want that sort of content. People might prefer it in writing. And it might be annoying to have to go through like a 15-minute video to find the answer to your question. But on the other hand, hearing me say it might probably gives it a bit more context than if I write it. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's just something I'm thinking about and interested in your feedback. But yeah, a lot of people did survey 765. There's also 36 people who got halfway through and didn't finish it, so 96% completion rate. And I can actually add those incomplete responses in if I want to, but I won't, because I've already got so many responses, so I don't need to add in extra people who don't know what they're doing. So, but I can go look at them all. And yeah, it tells you all sorts of stuff. How long they took on the survey, what country they're from. I can view what they did fill out. Polldata is really good. It's really powerful, actually. I'm really impressed with it. As far as free software goes, it's pretty kick-ass. It took a long time to find survey software that was good. I highly recommend this. And it integrates with WordPress too, so that's good. Not that they're paying me or anything. In fact, I'm paying them, so I know why I'm plugging them. They can get fucked. So that's that. Feel free to drop your questions into the chat, and just ask me stuff if you want. I've said all I really felt like saying for this one, but you guys always have some interesting things to say or ask, so feel free. Just reading your chats. And yeah, Sai, someone voted Sai. Sai's, he didn't come up that much. He came up more before. He never got into the top 13 or anything, but he was up there, and now he's not. I think people just are over him a bit. Do you buy her denial? I have to click on that link. Why do fans think she is a mafia boss?
Like gangster boss. Your fans think you are like the boss. Like gangster boss. I don't know.
Why?
Mafia.
I'm not mafia boss. Just then.
That's funny, because that's totally my fault.
I am boss of Willing.
I'm not sure what she actually said in response there. She seemed to almost ignore it. Yeah, I think she was just like, what the fuck, and moved on. I can't really tell what she's saying, but that's pretty funny. Because, yeah, this is completely my fault for writing the Ways Girls fanfiction. which I'm sure you're all familiar with. And yeah, that's what I heard too. She's like, but maybe she thought we're talking about the leader of a group or something like that. But I mean, you know what the question really was all about, and yeah, I don't think she really understood it. But that's funny. I like that. So yeah, that's funny. Um, that Ways Girl stuff has gone to some surprising places, which is weird because I mean it was just me retelling a. It's not even an original story, which is something which I actually say at the start of it. Um, yeah. K-pop excels at remaking entertainment from the West. Some of the best K-pop songs are direct copies of Western songs, and all K-pop is at the very least extremely Western influenced. So please enjoy this reconfiguration of a classic Western tale. And it is. It's not original. I mean, all the details, of course, are original, but the basic, what isn't original is a basic plot outline, and the punchline at the end also isn't original because that's why it works. Okay, so I can't actually remember who did the original. Um, I think I think Alfred Hitchcock did maybe two different versions of the same story. Um, I've seen one from India, like a Bollywood version. Um, and Alfred Hitchcock, even his version isn't the original either. I think he got it from somewhere else too. Um, I don't know where. I don't know what the original is, but I just thought it was cool, and so I thought, well, let's do it K-pop style. And I picked Way because I don't know, it just seemed like someone who just seemed like a really inappropriate choice. And that's how a lot of the humor works. You give it to someone who, you cast someone completely differently to how they're imagined to be, and then, makes it a bit more interesting. So, but yeah, I'm glad that took off the way it did. And a lot of the Crayon Pop content's got into weird places. One of the other Crayon Pop fan fictions I wrote, with a really small one, actually got onto Ilba, the Korean sort of Encyclopedia Dramatica style site that's, has a lot of controversy. They liked the story for some reason, I'm not sure why. I guess because they were liking Crayon Pop for some reason, because they were connected to Ilba for some reason. So I think they just put it on there because they like things that are Crayon Pop, and that's somewhere. That's actually in my index. I think I'll show you. I've been pretty slack about linking reposts and discussions in the index, and I've just been leaving it to my original posts now, because it's not like I need to give anyone the traffic, but let's try and find this post. Yeah, here we go. The Crayon Pop fanboy Cole. So, yeah. I'll see if the Ilba post is still live. Yeah, here it is. So, whoever's put it on there, obviously their understanding of English is a little bit limited because they don't realise that word wrap doesn't work in the Korean text. So it's a bit messy to actually look at. But hey, it works, and yeah, I don't know if anyone really gave a shit that it was on there, but it's cool that it got on there. So that's cool. Let's go back to Blackpink, seeing as how you guys aren't really asking stuff. As usual with YG, the production's excellent. They have really, really good producers. So even when the song's bad, it always sounds great, light stick with Sonics, and it looks great too. Everyone looks amazing, and it's sort of running with the sort of thing that YG do really well in their videos, which is, you know, every 10 seconds there's a new bizarre set piece, and you know, just everything looks great. Pity about the crappy raps. And yeah, this would have cost a lot. I mean, you can see why it takes some time for them to release stuff if they're going to do it like this. It's, you know, logistically challenging to put something like this together in terms of all the staging and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, Lisa's hammer, that's a light stick, isn't it? Their official light stick. It was a very clever idea to put the light stick in the video itself. And I can see they just got that tank that they keep using over and over in all the YG videos and put some disco bling on it. That's pretty cool. It's good to know the YG tank is still there. We've enjoyed the YG tank ever since the days of what is it? Yeah, FX Hot Summer has got the YG tank, so has GD and TOP. But yeah, but what I really noticed when I was looking at this and looking for this video and the other one is it hasn't even been a year since the last Blackpink song, and all the Blackpink fans have been crying about, oh, they're being neglected and stuff, but a year between songs is not that unusual. So, you know, I think everyone just fucking chill out. I'm glad that this came out just so the Blackpink fans would just shut the fuck up. It's definitely a positive thing. And just at that point there, I thought she was going to go into Bad Boys. Or what you can do when they come for you. The scene from Cops. Can't remember who does that song. Some reggae dude. But this here is actually where the song starts to improve. This bit's cool. And it sounds like it's really about to go somewhere cool, and then it just goes back into that, and then, yeah. No, MIA didn't do it. It's a man who sings that song. Bad Boys. I know there is a song by MIA called Bad Girls, but that's not the song I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of the theme from Cops. It'll come up if I Inner Circle. That's right. Yeah, who I should have remembered because they're such a huge group. That song. I don't know why there's a picture of Bob Marley there. Was he in the circle? I don't even know. I don't think so. Yeah, that song. So yeah, that's I thought she was going to go into that, and I was glad when she didn't. I was like, oh man, that'd just be too cheesy. It's cheesy enough, that song. Already too much cheese. I used to love watching Cops when I was a kid. When I was a teenager, I'd watch Cops. See people get busted live on TV. That was great. That was one of the first reality TV shows, and definitely one of the best. Because reality TV was kind of new back then. You know, people didn't really know the rules. People weren't so conscious of it. So you had people doing all sorts of stupid shit and not being all self-conscious about being on camera like it is now, where people were obviously just fucking acting. Yeah, I had a lot of fun watching that back in the day. And although it's funny because the cops on there are always so nice, and I'd watch that and then I'd listen to like NWA and Ice-T and stuff like that, where they're always talking about how the cops are just like brutal murderers. And so you know when you're watching Cops that you were sort of getting the PR version. The crooks didn't know they were being filmed a lot of the time, but the cops certainly did. So they were all on their best behaviour and shit like that. Anyway, that's about it for this stream. We're done. That's all I wanted to say. I've got some shit to do today, so I'm not going to be doing any gaming streams or anything like that. I've got to do some building, and I also have to get ahead and do the arse results. That's the next one. This is the best arse female, best arse male. I'm going to count. Going to count all that up, and yeah, I got 667 responses for the girls and 383 for the guys. So we'll see what the results are, and see if it's any different. And that post will come out after roundup. You'll get roundup first, and you probably get the arse results midweek. If it all goes according to plan, if I have enough time to do it all, because it's really time consuming now to do this, more than it ever has been, because it's so much more popular now. But thank you all for doing it though. Really appreciate all the traffic and the results and just the fun of it. I mean, I don't really get anything physically out of it. If anything, just takes away my free time, but it's cool to know that there's enough people doing the surveys that it actually is. I think it is to the point where it is a reasonable, reasonably trustworthy results of a cross section of the type of people who read my stuff, or who at least would receive my stuff positively rather than negatively. So it's good to know what people are into. Whether I agree or not doesn't really matter. It's more just, and also it's a good way to broaden people's minds. A lot of people really get pissed off about, why do I have the guys in there, and a lot of people who are into the guys don't want the girls in there. And I think, I think what's part of the reason why I even do that survey in the first place is because it's the whole idea of what's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? So, I really don't like it when I hear about fangirls drooling over some guy's abs and then some girl shows a bit of skin and they're like, oh, that's so disgusting. I think that's really hypocritical. And I think it's also hypocritical the other way around too, when the guys are drooling over the girls and then they see some guy and they're like, oh, that's gay, and K-pop's just a bunch of faggots and stuff like that. It's not cool. I think, what's good for one is good for the other. So, let the fangirls have their abs, that's fine. And I'll have my boobs and ass and whatever, and that's cool, and we can all get along and perv. And MJ Sleepy Minjay, aka Chexa from Fiesta, she touched on that a bit, when I was talking to her without even meaning to, because I was asking if I want to do an interview, and she's like, well, you can't interview that person, Chexa from Fiesta, because that person doesn't exist, because that's all fake, right? So I've got no problem with people perving, whether it's men or women, and whether they're perving on men or women. If you're looking at some dude and saying, I like that guy's abs, that's the rational part. That's just you saying, okay, I've got sexual preferences, this person meets my preferences. That's much more rational and much more sensible than saying, I bet this person's a really nice person because I like the way he smiles in the video, and I reckon I know what kind of guy he is, and and I think I'm in love with him, and all that sort of stuff. That's the bullshit side. That's the side that's unhealthy for your mind as a fan, because you're fantasizing about a situation that's never going to exist, that has no real sort of concept in reality. It makes no sense. You don't know what these people are like. They are all acting. They're paid to do a job. So, and the ones that you like the most are the ones who are really good at doing their jobs. So you can't say you know them or whatever, because they're totally different off camera sometimes. And sometimes they're not. You don't know, but you don't know. You can't tell. Anyone who thinks they can tell is just full of shit. If you don't personally know them, you don't know. But you do know if someone, has abs that you like or boobs that you like. Yeah, that's because you can see them. Well, sometimes. Anyway, that is all I got to say. So, I'm out. I'll be back next week, usual time or stream. Got the radio show tomorrow as usual, and next week I'm not sure what I'm going to talk about. I'll probably talk about more results. I'll go through the ask posts. I'll have them done by them for sure, and if you're really lucky, I'll get to the legs ones by then. And the overall attractive, I probably won't get to that. And then just say goodbye to Stiglitz. Alright, see you next time, folks.